Hello and welcome to Heavenly Album Covers. Right now we're going to look at an album cover by the Buenos, B-U-E-N-O-S, the Buenos, featuring Father Elmer Bueno, the mother Lee Bueno, and the two delightful children, Cam Bueno and Chris Bueno. Collectively they are, and maybe were, the Buenos. This album is called Happiness Is. It's on the Custom Fidelity label, and the Buenos operated, and they still might operate and live in Campbell, California, which is in Northern California near San Francisco. And the Buenos ministered all across the country, and especially down south in Mexico. They had TV shows and radio programs, and they really got around, and this album cover is really delightful. It looks like it's actually taken from a contact sheet of maybe a photographer's contact sheet, and all of the Buenos have really great smiles. Their mouths are open, so they're having a really good time. There are two microphones here, so when they were putting this album together, they could sing, and it would be in stereo here. So Mother Lee is wearing a nice pink outfit, which matches Chris's tie and his shirt here. Cam down here has a slightly purple outfit. Her hair looks great. Lee's hair looks really good, and Elmer's tie is kind of paisley. He's wearing a blue shirt, and as I noted before, they're all smiling. They all have their mouths open in ecstasy, and they're ready to evangelize to whomever they come across. Let's look at the flip side, the back side, the back of this album. Now, the Buenos apparently had a ministry, had a church inside this thing called the Air Cathedral, which, let me zoom in on it. And it looks like the Air Cathedral was pumped up by air with a generator out the back. I don't think it exists anymore, but it must have been an inexpensive way of creating a church, maybe a temporary church. And looks like it was huge. And here below is the congregation inside the Air Cathedral, and looks like they're having a good time. Looks like a majestic temporary building is what it looked like. I'm not sure what this truck is all about. Maybe that's where the Air Cathedral was stored and transported. And it looks like they did television broadcasts from the Air Cathedral. Here's some sort of television camera, maybe a monitor or something. The liner notes are pretty straightforward. Looks like this album was from 1972, and the art direction was by someone named Ralph Thompson and his friend Dick White. The photos were taken by Del Carlo, and the Custom Fidelity people did the printing, so all that the group had to do was to prepare the album and pay for it, and it would show up in a big box on their doorstep. Let's take a closer look at the Buenos. This is one of the happiest photos I've ever seen. There's Cam Bueno, her brother Chris. Chris is wearing glasses, so he probably had some eyesight problems. Here's Lee, the mother, Lee, and Elmer down here. Let's look at the label real quick while I have it here. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I can zoom in on it. It's on, there's something called the Sonata Sagrada presents Happiness Is. The music itself is very mid-tempo. There's nothing on here that's speed metal or fast. It's all very leisurely. A lot of nice orchestrations. It's very well done, and the singing is surprisingly very good for an album like this. This album was recorded, parts of it were recorded in London, England with the Philharmonic Orchestra. For some reason, the Philharmonic in London took part in many of these Christian albums that were popping out and popping up all over America. There must have been some sort of contract that someone had with the London Philharmonic. And but like I said, it sounds really good. It's a very lush and full sound, and really like this cover. I think I like Elmer's expression in particular. Although I don't see many resemblance points between Chris and Elmer. They look like they come from two different families, and even Lee and Kim don't really look that much alike. So I don't know what's going on here, but I'm sure they're all from one family. And this was, and this continues to be the Buenos and their album Happiness Is, featuring the Air Cathedral. See the little, that's the little Air Cathedral insignia up there.